I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
Are you trying to say what you trying to say?
I'm looking right at you.
I
ain't backing down. You better take your old and get somebody to love you.
Damn, no.
Yes, I told that Shannon Sharpe, leave that white.
Shannon Sharpe told her that if she would lose enough weight for him, he would buy her some artificial breasts. Now that's very puzzling to me, Art, because she's already extra skinny.
He really want a 17-year-old, but he can't. He f*** a 18-year-old, a 20-year-old. So here it is, he at the gym, working out. He's showing up at the gym with them big old black legs.
Shannon Sharpe is heated after Monique lit him up during her comedy set, cracking jokes about his $50 million lawsuit with the OnlyFans model.
You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I know.
The clip went viral overnight, and folks close to Shannon say he's not taking it lightly. He thought his celebrity circle would stand behind him, but instead he's out here getting roasted. But fans aren't exactly feeling sorry for him. They're pointing fingers right back and reminding Shannon that Monique tried to warn him months ago during that Club Shay interview. She flat out told him to stop chasing younger women who just want a piece of his money. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. That's what she said straight up. Still, Shannon laughed it off, brushing her off like she was just being dramatic. But look at him now. His reputation is in the gutter. Even if he manages to beat the lawsuit, it's not going to clean up the mess. His $100 million podcast deal hanging by a thread, sponsors already backing out, and his famous friends, they're going ghost. So now the question is, what exactly did Monique say that's got Shannon this pressed? And why is he mad at her when she literally tried to throw him a lifeline? Let's rewind for a second. When that jaw-dropping news dropped about Shannon getting sued for what the girl claimed went down, Monique wasn't shocked at all. She saw it coming. She tried to warn him that dating younger women, especially ones who see dollar signs, was a risk. But Shannon wasn't trying to hear it. So now that all this drama with the OnlyFans model blew up, fans were itching to know what Monique had to say. And whoo, she did not hold back. During a recent stop on Cat Williams' Heaven on Earth comedy tour, Monique hit the stage and took her moment. She reminded the crowd and the world that she gave Shannon the heads up.
Yes, I told that Shannon Sharpe, leave that white.
He just didn't want to listen. And honestly, Monique's just saying what a lot of people are already thinking. Shannon did this to himself. Right after news broke about the lawsuit, a clip from that old Club Shay interview in February 2024 started circulating again. In that interview, Monique looked Shannon dead in the eye and told him to stop messing with girls half his age. She even suggested he find a grown woman, someone on his level, who wasn't just after a payday. But he sat there, laughing it off, not taking a word of it seriously. Fast forward to now, Shannon's out of a job at ESPN, drowning in legal problems and looking like he might lose millions. People are dragging that clip back out and saying, see, Monique was right on the money. One fan tweeted, one thing about Monique, she'll joke, but she won't lie. Shannon Baldhead should have listened instead of giggling. Now look, another fan chimed in, Shannon Sharpe deserves this. He had 3 people on his own show call him out, Cat Williams, Monique's, and Lil Yachty, but he stayed on the same path. Despite everything falling apart around him, lawsuit, job, reputation, Shannon still seems to be in denial. And now, insiders are saying he's furious that Monique turned his whole situation into material for her show. But let's be real, if he'd taken her seriously the first time, maybe none of this would have happened. Word on the street is Shannon Sharpe is fuming that Monique turned his drama into punchlines. And insiders are saying he really thought his A-list buddies would back him up. But guess what? Almost nobody stepped forward to defend him. That silence, loud. And fans aren't shocked because for a lot of people, this lawsuit ain't just a one-time mess. It's the final chapter in a long book of questionable behavior. Shannon's been popping up in headlines for all the wrong reasons lately, and now even more receipts are surfacing that paint a not-so-flattering picture. One clip that's making serious waves shows Shannon losing it during an episode of his podcast, Nique. During the April 30th taping, while casually chatting about the 2025 NFL draft, he suddenly snapped off camera and shouted, "Shut the F up," just like that. Wild, but it doesn't stop there. Folks are now dragging Shannon over a comment he made about limiting his daughter's wedding budget to just $30,000. This is the same guy who allegedly offered an OnlyFans model $10 million to hush up and walk away from the lawsuit. Yup, you read that right.
Guess what the 2 teams that called me on show say, what's your phone number, where you gonna be?
Who that?
Shut the f*** up.
The whole wedding comment came during another Nightcap episode where Shannon and Ocho Cinco were chatting about wedding budgets. Shannon straight up said he's only putting down $30,000 for his daughters and joked they could serve spaghetti and fried fish instead of shelling out for luxury catering. Fans were not laughing, and then came the leaked texts. People were quick to remind Shannon that in those very messages, he supposedly admitted to paying Gabriella, the OnlyFans model, $25,000 for each cheek. That's what fans are calling it online. One person said, "This needed to come out to show how much of a hypocrite he really is. Millions for a stranger, but his own kid's wedding gets the budget menu."
Hey, my daughter's a budget. You got a budget. I don't get whatever you do after that.
What number, I mean, I don't want to be in your business, but what number you said?
30,000.
Okay. So you can have a wedding with 30,000?
I don't know what you can have. I ain't the one getting married. I don't give a damn. Hey, they better go get one of them more hey, y'all from the South, y'all know about that fried catfish and spaghetti plate. Hey, I know somebody hooked that thing right on up. What they charge by the plate? $10.50 a head. Spaghetti, fried catfish, a piece of cornbread, and a styrofoam cup of sweet tea. That's all you get. Man, I'm not finna go, hey, just because they something. Oh, hell, now, man, I wish I might.
But the rabbit hole goes deeper. Fans are now calling Shannon out for allegedly having some kind of racially charged, fetish-based relationship with Gabriella. In the text he posted, she says she wants him to put a big black baby in her, which raised eyebrows everywhere. But the suspicious part, Shannon only posted her messages, not his replies. Now people think the race play angle might have actually been his idea all along. And let's be real, Gabriella's a paid entertainer. If she was saying all that, she probably said what he asked for.
And just one more thing about Mr. Sharpe. Not so sharp, clearly. It is my theory, just my opinion, my theory, not fact, my opinion. I think all of this RACE rhetoric that was in those text messages started with him. It started with him. It's becoming more and more clear to me, in my opinion, that he has a race fetish. He has a fetish for that type of dynamic. Think about it. This was a 19-year-old white woman when he met her. I don't know any 19-year-old white woman that's running around hollering about a big black baby and baby gravy. Shannon was a 54-year-old big black grown man from the backwoods of Georgia. Gravy sound like some he's familiar with. Big black babies, he probably seen a few in his day. Born in the backwoods of Georgia where he grew up with his grandma and all the other folks. But I just don't think that came from her. Now, is she repeating it back in those text messages? Yes, that's why he released her messages, not his. Peep that, okay? We haven't seen what his responses was. And I guarantee you, when they post those messages, y'all gonna see. All of that race started with him. It's a fetish. And he could only play that kind of stuff out with a young girl. He couldn't, like Monique was trying to tell him, get an older gal. Older gal ain't going for that. They was going to immediately know he was a freak and a weirdo. A 19-year-old don't know no better. That's why she repeating it back to him, because he said it to her first. Older men, that's why they tend to want to be with younger women. They're more impressionable. They can mold them. They can shape them to be what they want them to be. Do what they want them to do. You let him come to a 40 or 50-year-old woman talking about put a big black baby and baby gravy. We gonna be looking like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, that started with him. Mark my words, it's gonna come out. But that race stuff started with Shannon.
Meanwhile, even more old clips of Shannon are resurfacing, showing he's always had some off-the-wall takes when it comes to women. One viral clip shows him saying he once paid for a woman's divorce because he thought she was the one. Yup, while his daughter's wedding gets capped, he's funding divorces for flings.
Nah, I was once dating this chick, right, Skip, and she was married, but she was getting a divorce. I knew I wanted her. I said, you know what? I'll pay for the divorce because I believe she was the one. That's what I did. I said, why you arguing about this? He wouldn't sign the papers. I said, why you arguing about this little bit of money? I gave her the money, filed the divorce because I believe. I keep it 100 with y'all here, Skip, but I did that.
Make it make sense. And in another clip, Shannon dives into a graphic story about one of his past hookups, and fans were not feeling it. Some even said that's why they stopped watching the Shannon and Ocho show in the first place. Nobody trying to hear bedroom stories from a dude pushing 60, one person wrote. Even industry voices are speaking out now. Dr. Umar had something to say too. He didn't mince words. He admitted the lawsuit might be a setup, but still said Shannon had no business getting involved with a 19-year-old. He should have seen the red flags when she wouldn't even sign an NDA, Dr. Umar pointed out.
You would think that in the aftermath of all of these cases that's going on, that Shannon Sharpe or any black male celebrity for that matter will conduct themselves in a more responsible manner. So what do we know about this situation? According to Gabriella Zuniga, she met Shannon Sharpe at a gym in Los Angeles approximately 2 years ago, 2023. Now, Shannon alleges that he tried to present her with an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, which every celebrity should require from anyone they engage with. Well, guess what, Art? She decides she's not going to sign the NDA. That right there was a warning to Shannon Sharpe that this 19-year-old, who you shouldn't be dating anyway because of her age, because of her race, you need to end this. If she don't want to sign an NDA dating a celebrity, you know what that means. That means if this doesn't go her way, she's going to expose you. Shannon Sharpe should have ended it right there. The problem was she fit his type. Obviously, Uncle Shay, he likes Caucasian women, as we all know, and he likes them very skinny, which I didn't know. And the reason I'm saying that is the pictures that are floating around the internet on Gabrielle Asu Ninjas is the pictures of a very petite Caucasian woman who, not being disrespectful when I say this, appears to be built like a 13, 14, 15-year-old child. And according to her, allegedly, Shannon Sharpe told her that if she would lose enough weight for him, he would buy her some artificial breasts. Now, that's very puzzling to me, Art, because she's already extra skinny, extra petite, no booty, no breasts, no nothing. Why would you want her to lose any more weight? So from that, we can gather that Shannon Sharpe's type is an extra pale, extra skinny Caucasian. He definitely don't like them 5'5", thick in the thighs like Dr. Umar. He don't want butter almond, he don't want butter pecan, he don't want fudge, cinnamon, mahogany. He don't even want African vanilla, African butterscotch, African lemonade. He wants them pale and skinny. I want them brown chocolate and curvy.
So now that all this dirt is out in the open, sympathy for Shannon is running on empty. And as for Monique, fans say she's the last person Shannon should be mad at. She told him the truth straight up on Club Shay. Instead of taking her advice, he laughed, and now he's the punchline. She warned him loud and clear, but Shannon didn't want to hear it. He laughed, shrugged it off, and kept doing whatever he wanted. Now that everything's blowing up, people are saying he's just dealing with the fallout from his own choices, and it's looking real heavy right now. Gabriella's not playing. She's coming after him for a jaw-dropping $50 million in damages. And here's the kicker. Shannon's total net worth might not even cover that. Reports estimate his fortune at around $30 million. Back in his NFL days, he made about $22.5 million total, with his biggest single check being $5 million from a Baltimore Ravens deal worth $13.8 million. Nowadays, Shannon's pulling in about $10 million a year thanks to his media hustle between podcasts, brand deals, TV gigs, and his fancy cognac line, Le Portier. But even with all that, he's still trailing behind his First Take co-host Stephen A. Smith, who's sitting on a cool $45 million net worth. Stephen just inked a massive 5-year, $100 million deal, making him one of the highest paid sports personalities out there, right behind Tom Brady. And here's where it gets wild. Shannon was this close to locking down his own $100 million deal before the lawsuit hit. That bag was right in front of him. Days before Gabriella filed her claim, Shannon was reportedly finalizing a huge deal that would have included all of his Sheehy Media projects. Club Shay, Nightcap with Chad Johnson, Club 520, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies. According to Front Office Sports, he was just 3 days away from signing when Gabriella's name hit the headlines. Now,
your ESPN contract,
yes, sir,
is up next year. And the word on the street is that you want something in the range of $100 million for 5 years.
Right.
True?
It ain't false. I always want as much money as I can get. I'm not going to apologize to that. I'm a capitalist. What I would say to you is I would ask respectfully, pay attention to the industry. See what people are getting paid. See how much money they're making and what they're bringing to the table. Look at their ratings. Look at their revenue that they're generating and look at mine.
That entire deal is on pause. And if it falls apart, that's a massive financial and career loss for Shannon. On top of that, the lawsuit's still hanging over his head. And folks are starting to wonder if he's even stacked enough over the years to survive a $50 million hit. Now, to keep it real, Gabriella might not actually walk away with all that cash. Civil cases like this, especially ones involving complicated adult behavior, aren't easy wins. These lawsuits are tough to prove, and sometimes they end without anyone owing a cent. So yeah, Shannon could technically come out of this not owing a dime, but even if he wins legally, the real damage is already done. His public image is in tatters. The internet's already seen those text messages, and they've heard that clip of Shannon allegedly threatening to choke Gabriella. That stuff doesn't just disappear, even if a judge clears him. At this point, it's not even about court decisions, it's about reputation. Companies like Disney, who owns ESPN, don't care about court verdicts as much as they care about public perception. If your name's trending for all the wrong reasons, you're a liability. Simple as that. Brands and networks don't want to take the risk, even if the law's on your side. Now, could Shannon bounce back eventually? Sure, it's possible. He's built a loyal fan base and people love a comeback story. But that road just got way longer and a whole lot steeper because of his own choices. He ignored Monique's warning, brushed off Cat Williams, and kept surrounding himself with the wrong energy. And now, he's paying the price for real. Shannon really fumbled big time when he got tangled up with that young OnlyFans model. And it ain't just about the age gap, it's the whole messy power dynamic and the strange racial undertones that got people side-eyeing him. That kind of baggage, brands like Disney want nothing to do with it. They're not touching that with a 10-foot pole. But now we gotta ask, do you think Shannon Sharpe has any chance of bouncing back from all this? Or has the damage already been done and there's no coming back from it? And what about Monique? Is Shannon right to be mad at her for cracking jokes about this whole mess on stage? Or is it fair game since she literally tried to warn him and he just laughed it off? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the wildest celeb drama out there. Catch you on the next one.